Hi, in this next video, I decided to go ahead and invent a buttercream frosting recipe. I went ahead and took my chocolate buttercream frosting recipe and took the chocolate out of it and modified it. And in the video, I call it buttercream frosting, but it actually ended up being white icing with real butter. So it's quite delicious, but it's not buttercream frosting. It is white icing with real butter. I hope you enjoy it. Welcome back. And today I'm going to make buttercream frosting. It's quite a simple recipe, and it's pretty much the classic buttercream frosting. And let's get started. So the first ingredients, first of all, I'm going to make a double batch. So normally it would be 6 tablespoons of butter. So I'm going to put in 12, and I already pre-cut this. So this is 8. And then I cut this other one halfway through, 4. 8 plus 4 is 12. And that is 12 tablespoons of real butter, because when making buttercream frosting, you certainly need the real butter. But I did leave it on my counter to soften, and that's why I didn't cut it in front of everybody. This recipe does not require a lot of ingredients, so it's nice that way, because you don't have to go out and get a ton of stuff. And it's an easy recipe. So because it's softened up, it did kind of stick a little bit to the paper here. Put this on. Okay. All right. Set that aside. And now we're going to go ahead and get the powdered sugar out. Actually, I better go wipe my hands. I got butter all over. If I was making a single batch of buttercream frosting, I would have done the 6 tablespoons of butter, but I did 12 because I'm doubling it. So for the sugar, I'm going to do 3 cups of powdered sugar, also known as confectioner's sugar. And I have some in a container that I have stored here. And when I do powdered sugar, I just use, because I have this giant glass measuring thing, and I'm not measuring cup, and I'm not baking it in the oven. So it's not like chemistry where it has to go ahead and have it perfect. But, so this will work. And I need, because I'm doubling it, 6 cups. So I'm going to just kind of pour this. I have a feeling it's almost all of this. I might have to open up another one. Let's see how it goes. It might be just perfect. I might have just had 6 cups left. Let's see. Let me see. I'm going to have to take a spoon, or maybe I'll just use a knife and just kind of level it out. Boy, you could taste the powdered sugar. I just moved it around and it went airborne. So, yep, it's a little more than what I need, just by a tad. So I'm just going to take a couple tablespoons out, which is kind of funny. I'm going to leave that much, but it'll be fine for putting on stuff like French toast. Okay, so now we're looking at, I'm not wanting to like pack it, but I'm just kind of trying to flatten it a little. Maybe take a few more heaping. I don't want to make it like so sweet that you can't eat it. Okay. Let's see. Here we go. So that's pretty darn close to 6. All right, so I'm going to set that aside. And now the next thing I'm going to do is the milk. And I use whole milk, so it's going to have a richer flavor than if you use 2% milk. So I need, if I was doing a single batch, I would need 1/3 cup. But I'm doing a double batch, so I need 2/3 cup. So I'm going to look on my 2/3 cup here. And when measuring liquid ingredients, you need to get level with your measuring cup. Keep an eye on it and pour. Okay, so 2/3 cup of the milk. For the vanilla, it would be 1 teaspoon. I'm doing a double batch, so it's 2 teaspoons. I'm going to measure it right into the milk. So then when I pour in the milk, I'll have my extract too. It'll be easier. So 1, 2. Okay, so that's all the ingredients. So it's a simple recipe too, because you don't need to buy a lot. So I have my butter, which I will, the butter, the sugar, the milk, and the vanilla. So let's go over to the mixer and start mixing this up. Okay, so I'm going to show you, I'm going to use this attachment. You never want to go ahead and use a wire whisk. That is more like for sauces and egg whites. And you don't want to use a dough hook, because the dough hook is for cookie dough or bread dough. All right, so let's get started by whipping this butter together. I'm going to mix up the butter, whip it really well, and then I just want to let everybody know that I have an arm's length. I have my milk and my powdered sugar very close by. I have this nice rubber spatula that is also kind of like a shape of a spoon, so I'll be able to spoon in the powdered sugar. So let's get started. Okay, that was softened butter, so it went way faster than if the butter was hard. So that's already ready for the next ingredient. So as I mix this, I will slowly add more ingredients, the milk and the sugar, and alternate back and forth. Okay, so I'm going to probably have to move this slightly so I can get the right angle. Start with a little bit of sugar. A little bit of milk. Turn up the speed to high. Okay, let's check it. I want to make sure it's thick enough. I might actually end up adding that sugar back because I want it to be nice and creamy and not too liquidy. So it's a little bit liquidy. So when I originally did the measurement, I took some of that sugar out, the powdered sugar out. So I think I'm going to add it back in because I want it to be a little bit thicker than what this is. Check this out. This is some super white frosting. Okay, so I think this is the right consistency now. I'm going to scrape And take this off and scrape the whole bowl just to make sure we don't have any thing. Okay. All right, so now we're looking at the right consistency. Okay, so I'm going to get this all off of here. Bear with me while I reposition some things so that everybody can get a good look at what this looks like. Okay. I'm just going to make sure I scrape the sides. And look at that. Now remember, my butter was softened. I am going to, when I frost the cake I'm going to use, I'm going to go ahead and put this in the fridge, so it's going to harden up a bit. All right, so I have decided, before I go any further, to add 1/3 cup more of the powdered sugar, because I think it needs to be slightly thicker. It seems a little runny to me. So before I go further, or then I won't be able to go back. If I frost the cake, I won't be able to go backwards, but I can go ahead and thicken it up. So I'm going to add 1/3 cup more of powdered sugar. And I think maybe it had to do with the temperature of the butter. I'm not quite sure, but that's why I always have extra ingredients. So let's try and see if that does the trick. Scrape the sides and just make sure everything's blended before I really test it out. Okay, I'm going to do another 1/3 cup. This is going to have a lot of sugar in it. Do another 1/3 cup. Whoops. And see if or where I want to be on that. So now that's an extra 2/3 cup. Okay, let's try. Okay, let's check this out. So we've added, from the 6 cups, which was a doubled recipe, we added 2/3 more cup of the powdered sugar. So let's see where we're at on this now. Okay, now I think we're where we want to be. This looks correct now. It's not so runny, because we don't want it just to run off the cake. Okay, let's see. So if you're, now it's way thicker. All right. I'm gonna make sure I don't have anything. Okay. It's gonna be smooth, that's for sure. Okay, now to taste test the frosting. That is good. Very, very good. Super smooth. Very classic buttercream frosting. Very yummy. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm going to go ahead and use this frosting to frost the cake that I'm doing in another video. So I hope you catch both the videos. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you subscribe to my channel, thank you very much. And if you don't subscribe, it is free, and I hope you join up and subscribe. Have a wonderful evening, and thanks for watching.